I first started dealing with depression and anxiety when I was about 15. My mum would come home from work and I'd be laying on the couch and had been there since I got home from school and would be there until I went to my bed. And I think it was that one incident where I was crying and she asked me, "What is it you're upset about?" And I couldn't give her an answer. I didn't know what I was upset about. I didn't really understand what I was feeling. So I think that was the point where she realised that it wasn't just kind of being a typical moody teenager and that something else might be going on. I had quite a happy childhood and seemed to be a kind of regular, normal child. And I think that almost made it a bit harder because there is that presumption that people have if you're going through a mental illness that something caused it and that there's a reason for it. I did get comments like, "Well, what have you got to be depressed about?" And it's like not having a reason for it sometimes has been quite difficult to deal with. When I was in my second year of university, my mental health took a real dip. I really isolated myself and was feeling really low, and that was the first time that I experienced feeling suicidal, and it was something that I was dealing with every day. It was a thought that was constantly on my mind, which I think is why I didn't leave my room, because I knew that if I did, I'd be tempted to do something to myself, so I just isolated myself instead. Around about a year ago, I was diagnosed with OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. The way that it affects me is mostly obsessive thoughts, so I will get thoughts that enter my head and I won't be able to get rid of them. They tend to be about people around me and people that I love getting hurt, and that thought will just be going around and around in my head constantly. And it's quite difficult to focus on anything else, particularly if I'm driving and something like this happens. I quite often have to pull over. I'm a professional dog walker. I run my own dog walking business. It's something that I had been thinking about doing for years and years, and I kind of almost thought would always be a pipe dream. I think being out walking with dogs every day really helps my mental health. It's just their personalities and seeing them happy makes me happy. There has been the odd occasion where I've been really struggling and I've maybe had a little cry when I've been out walking the dogs, but that's the beauty of working with animals. They don't judge you. Just knowing that I can go out with the dogs and I can feel how I feel and not have to be concerned about how that impacts anyone else. My colleagues are dogs and they're just quite happy to be out with me, so it works really well. I've found running and athletics has really helped me. I can clear my head and it allows me to process things that maybe I've not been able to process during the day. I find that if I do get obsessive thoughts when I'm at the track, I'm able to just accept those thoughts and then let them go. To run and to throw and to be at the gym, I'm able to focus on what I'm doing and not listen to those thoughts that are in my head. When I was at my lowest and feeling suicidal, I think it was the absolute lack of hope and that I couldn't see a life for myself where I felt any different and where things would improve. So I think if I could go back to my younger self and be able to say things are going to get better and you are going to end up living a life that you're actually quite happy with and that things are going to be okay, that would have really helped.